Good evening, ballers. Welcome to the 25th episode of A Step Back. Your host, Leon Tompkins, my main man, Jacob Moses. We're here tonight to, break down what's going on in the basketball world. Episode 25, the Derrick Rose episode. It's on its knees.
Literally.
Yeah, brother. How you feeling tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm, living life the same till I heard this nonsense come on. So it kind of really got me irritated. So anything else, kids are healthy, family's healthy. It's how you doing down there?
You know,
Back
I'm,
home.
I'm, yeah, I'm doing well, man. It's just, the news in the league and with what's going on in the world.
Hmm.
Um, it's a bit disheartening, but I'm glad to see that the league stood behind. I guess the players stood behind their word.
Hmm.
It's also a shame because these were some exciting playoff games,
Hmm. For
but
sure, man.
to have the events that went on to lead up to this is horrible. At best, but we've been seeing it leading up to the bubble. With everything Kyrie said, everything, all the concerns that players had,
Hmm.
and it's nice to know that the players are in solidarity and they stood their ground.
Absolutely, man. I love to see stuff like this. And you see it long ago. It's more, LeBron really kind of started the whole more than the game stuff, and this is what it's about. It's more than the game. This is everybody coming together as a people, and just all the injustices that's going on. Now it's come to a head. Now it's just getting worse, and it's crazy that we're living in a time where we are serious targets now, and it's getting sickening. And then it's all this back and forth instead of more equality. It's just kind of tearing most of us apart, and it's sad because we'll go right back to it. We're raising our kids in this, and man, it's just I can't even explain. Like I got so many emotions going through my head right now. And, like I know what to say, but I don't want to just f it up. So I'm just trying to get all my thoughts together because that's when I get really irritated about things. That's when my thoughts just start going. But yeah, this is crazy, man. That's I finally watched a video like 2 days ago. My brother, my Chris, he sent it to me, and I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, what is going on? And for somebody to literally, you know, grab the dude and just start letting off, man, like, what are you
Yeah,
doing? But definitely shout out to the league for coming together. MLB, they're postponing games now. This is something. You talk about solidarity, but I don't want this to be a 1 week thing. This has to be continuous. This is not the flavor of the week, flavor of the month. No, I don't think so.
yeah, and when you say that the players came into the bubble saying, well, we want to get our message out. And for the first couple of weeks, they did. I mean, the
Hmm.
message had got out, but I don't think it's ever been received. You see the players with the messages on their back, how many more vote, various messages. But it seems like everything focused back onto the games. And
Hmm.
it's kind of like the message just got lost.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you would rather have COVID put a stop to the league rather than this.
Hmm.
Um, and like you said, today's game's been postponed. Tomorrow's game's been postponed. Apparently, they're meeting up tonight to figure out what the next course of action is as far as continuing the league. What I think might happen, I mean, we could suspend the league now and come back at a later date, but we won't know when that is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you figure out what is the end game. What are you trying to accomplish?
Mm-hmm.
The game served as a distraction, but it also served as a platform for them to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of in a tough spot. What needs to be done? How long are they there for? Do they go back to their families and go back out in marches? You do that, you have to worry about COVID all over again and retesting everyone. So at this point, the games are an afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the NBA players stepping down, WNBA players to step down, and we'll just see where it goes from here, what the next steps are.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. It's just as something has to be done, and it's somewhere, some party is just it has to get something has to get done because this is getting just way out of hand. It's been out of hand, but now it's a volcano. It's an eruption, and it ain't stopping. If you wanna freaking put Mentos in a freaking Coca-Cola bottle, and there it is. You know what I mean? But this is I don't know, man.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Like we had these conversations leading up, and we had mentioned Kyrie Irving, and everybody thought, oh yeah, he was crazy, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody knew what he was talking about. But turns out he was more or less about 80 to 90% right.
Oh, absolutely. He was right.
But the next course of action will definitely determine how far these players are willing to go. You look at last night, Paul George finally had the first good game of the playoffs, and he said he had was mentally exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was due to what's going on or just being in a bubble and being away from his family, but it is also a shame that these games which has probably been the best basketball we've seen in about
Long time.
15, 20 years.
Easily.
And with all that focus on racial tensions, it also brought to light in the Mavs Clippers series with Harrell and Luka and Luka Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Harrell can't be going around saying what he said.
Yeah, that's just because I'll say, I call him a pussy ass white boy. I'm like, come on now, you can't. I understand it gets heated during the playoffs, but Luka, obviously he's with us. Wearing the quality of his language on the back. I mean, you can't go around doing that. It's all about solidarity, everybody standing up together, and you just taking us back. Now you're just making yourself look ignorant, and I'm glad he went to Luka like a man and apologized for it, but you can't do that because I will say it, if it was on the other, if it was on the other shoe, we would have been in Luka's ass.
Yeah.
Just 100%. So yeah, Harrell he had to check that back, but he apologized for it. But yeah, you just can't go there. There's no place for that, especially now when you're trying to raise awareness and then you do something like that. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, that really isn't cool. And James joins us tonight. How you doing, James? What's up?
Yo, what's going on, James?
Yeah, last time we spoke with him, it was we had the draft lottery.
Eighth? Eighth? Eighth?
Yeah.
Man, that was rough.
Yeah, man, that was a rough night. Bulls got in the top 4 slot. The Timberwolves ended up winning the whole thing. That was. I mean, it was a disgusting night for Knicks fans all around. We had a good 24 hours of memes after that. And so there's been a lot of speculation as far as, what the Knicks need and who they may go after in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
And you've had a week to think about it. Who are your top targets?
Top targets. Okay. I've been thinking about this. Trust me. I told you that night I went to the board and I started looking at people. Killian Hayes, I like. Really skilled. His jumper isn't broken and plays defense. And I think he would be my first choice because, like I said, him and Frank could do something on the floor. You can put Killian there, Frank at the 2, RJ can play the 3 as he continues to grow, and then you have a nice little defensive backcourt. Vassell would be my second shooter, another 3-and-D guy. We need somebody that can shoot. It ain't no way around it. Yeah. But you have to get somebody that can shoot. He would be my number 2. I'm praying to God that Obi can fall. But when you think about it, you got the 1, it would be Edwards. 2 could be, maybe they didn't, maybe not even a Wiseman. That's the thing. Wiseman, the LaMelo Ball, it starts getting sticky. Like at the end, you never know. He might drop. It would be nice. That's Amari Stoudemire 2.0 with, a better jumper, I think. But
Right.
yeah, for me, it's Hayes, Vassell, Anthony would be my 4th. Maybe an RJ Hampton. But, there's so many ways, like, as I think about it, the skill is that it's top heavy, but you can still find value, which is really important. And this is going to be in the draft with 2 ways we can go about it. The 8th and then the 27th. We can do something, but I'm not as mad as I was. And we can definitely find some talent there. Maybe.
Yeah, man. The you know Cole
So,
Anthony is real intriguing at that spot.
uh,
Although you see a lot of mock drafts had him dropped out of the top 10 altogether. But
goes to Georgie.
do you see where the Knicks may make a trade up or trade back, maybe for a star,
Mm-hmm.
maybe for someone like I don't know, Buddy Hield or
I honestly think they will stand pat. I mean, in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, they can do it. And Buddy Hill, I would like because obviously he's a shooter and he's young. But it depends on what kind of deal they might throw out there. I'm just saying, just don't trade up for like a LaMelo Ball. If you're going to trade for somebody, it has to be an impact player. If you're giving up the pick, impact. I'm talking about Bradley Beal type, freaking Buddy Hill, on a lesser extent. Um, you can't say I know people are throwing around towns, but I'm like that's not happening. Um, no, it's good. But I'll say I want to say Bradley Beal because I can't really think about anybody else out there that's really that you can do that with. But I don't think the Wizards were trading with Wall coming back. But I would like to see more like a Buddy Hill would be our best bet. But also, you remember you got the free agency coming along, and I'm seeing that they might Fred Van Vliet, he might be a target. Davis Bertans, which I do like. He would be one of my top targets, even to Joe Harris. You got to get people, like I said, you got to get people that can shoot. So they got a lot of options. If they do it smart, it's a lot of options.
yeah. And there's been a lot of talk about Van Vliet,
Mm.
possibly getting a max deal.
Oh.
And I know there's a lot of teams looking at him. The Knicks were involved, Detroit, and Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the Knicks might offer him a max deal?
Yep. And the next move, yep. I'm not even going to hesitate. Yep. The championship pedigree, plays defense, he can shoot, and they need a point guard. And I don't think they're gonna let Frank Rock at point guard, which I kind of want to see because he did show a lot of promise. Even with his offense, a lot of people say it wasn't there, but if you look at the numbers, it was there. His jumper improved. I'm watching these videos of him. His release is quicker. and plus he's all-world defense. Gianna, what did I say? Excuse me, sorry. But
Yeah, it's all good.
um, 5. But yeah, she's just trying to. But yeah, I can see the Knicks doing it. Yeah, so who else sees the switch? You want me to suspend the software? Then go play. Thank you. Yes. But yeah, like I was saying, Van Vliet, championship pedigree. I can see the Knicks trying to max him out, but I want Davis Bertans though because he 42% shooter from downtown. We need that. Good job.
Yeah, the times when he came on last year with the Wizards and he sat out because he knew he was going to be a free agent. So, he's trying to cash in, and the Knicks are desperate. I'm pretty sure. But maybe under this regime, they won't like overspend for players.
I don't think so either. I think Leon Rose have an idea of because he knows a lot of players, and plus, I'm gonna give Worldwide West some credit and Kenny Payne. They got a lot. The team that they built is looking a lot better than years past. I'm liking it. That means the scouting hopefully will be better, and just everything about it I like. Usually I'm not too high on front offices and scouting and stuff like that because it's hard to trust them. But yeah, they might have something going there. I guess I gotta guess.
Yeah, man, more the merrier. Plus, it definitely increases our visual aid.
That's true. That's definitely true.
Um, Chris in the comment section. What's up, Chris? He
Sir.
says to grab Sadiq Bey from.
Yes. I think Nova.
Yeah,
The Nova
no, it was
or Seton Hall. What is he from? He's
yes,
from the Big East somewhere. But I know he can shoot. Hey, if he's there at 20, I'm not grabbing him at 8. But absolutely, Chris, I will grab him 27 if he's there.
I have a time. Blake doesn't have it. You don't
Hey.
have a time.
Hey,
Bobby and
hey.
Second Family, she
It's
doesn't.
just the whole flow is just.
We don't. We can get time limits.
Uncle Chris said hi. Can you say hi?
I.
Yeah. All right, you ready? Can you go to bed? Before I really suspend your switch.
it
5
was.
seconds.
Bey was from Nova.
Yeah. Okay.
Bey
See?
was from Nova.
Okay. Close the door, please. Sorry about that, everybody. Dad life. But like I was saying, James definitely with the Cole Anthony. I think with the right system, he would be fine. But he tried to do so much at North Carolina, and for a young guy, it's hard. Especially I won't say he's undersized, but I do see your point. I'm not going to be like a straight home. Oh yeah, we got to get Cole Anthony. I see what their needs are, and like I said, I'll take a Killian Hayes or a Vassell, and then see what happens. But I do agree with you though that it's a lot of bad things about Cole going around. Oh, another one. Sorry, Okoro. That's another one
Right.
that's gonna because his the motor. We just
Mm-hmm.
need players. We need players like that. High motor, get to the rack, learn how to shoot, plays defense. I mean, I'll take a defensive team any day of the week. That means it's gonna keep you in games, and we'll see what happens. But I'm excited. Like I say, I'm excited. I mean, we have the pieces of Mitch there. We have RJ. I'm hoping they keep Dotson around. He's a nice 3-and-D guy. I don't think they'll let him go. But guys are there. Randall, I don't know how longer he's going to be there. Spin cycle. Frank has grown on me. It still hurts. We discussed this. I wanted either he was my third. I knew about Frank, but it went, Mitchell, somebody else I can't remember at the time, and then Frank. But Dennis Smith Jr. Excuse me, Dennis Smith
Oh,
Jr. Then Mitchell, then Frank. But we got Frank. We're gonna support the kid. Say his defense is there. Just gotta get that shot down, man. It's the form isn't broken, and when your form isn't broken, you might have a shot. But we'll see. We're still gonna be second fiddle to your guys, but it is what it is.
yeah. It's funny you mentioned Mitchell, and he's been going off in this series with the Jazz going against Murray, and then that one-on-one matchup that they've been going back and forth, and the Jazz has surprised me this postseason. They had a rough game one, but their shooting from three-point land has really, really surprised me. I did not see that coming.
Me either. I knew Inglis can shoot. Mitchell can shoot a little bit. Of course, Conley. You know, Neal. I didn't
Royce
realize he
O'Neal,
was.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think he was that good of a shooter, but he proved me wrong. I'm not even gonna front sitting here like, oh my god, I knew. Nah, I don't think anybody saw this in Denver. All that talent on that team. I mean, they still can. They got the talent to come right back. I think they're gonna force a game 7, but it's crazy. But this is what we want to see. We want to see teams come out of nowhere and make it a series. We don't want to see a freaking Bucks and Magic or Nets and Raptors where it's pretty much predetermined of what's going to happen. But yeah, this series, just that back and forth shows you that they are going to be in good hands with guys like, Mitchell and Murray running the show. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, like Murray went off. They both went over for 50 the last game. Although the 50 was on a three-pointer at the buzzer, but he showed throughout that game that when the team was down, he can put him on his back, and White is a max level guy.
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell, we all knew was good, but
Mm-hmm.
I think he went to another level this postseason, knowing that Bogdanovich was out. Conley would be out the first 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
And his playmaking ability is at another level that I haven't seen before.
Yeah, I agree with that one. And like I said, don't forget about Joe Ingles. The dude, he's a big game player, man. We start calling him Manu. The dude he's not the fastest, but he just shows up at certain moments. You're just like, oh, there goes Joe again. And just like we
Yeah,
said, Manu, he's just so quirky, but it works.
yeah, like it doesn't really make much sense to me, but you know who's also really surprised me, and we all knew was very good, but
Mm.
Jordan Clarkson coming off the
Yes.
bench, bona fide 6-man, really stepped into that role. You
Mm-hmm.
remember out in Cleveland,
Mm-hmm.
came over to Utah, really raised his game with better talent around him, but
Mm-hmm.
he's taking better shots, uh, really scoring at a high efficiency,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been a big fan of his game this series.
Absolutely. I've been a fan from him. He's just one of those guys the glue guys that you would need coming off the bench, like I said. And you always need guys coming off the bench because your starters go out. You got to get these guys to come in and hold the fort down until, let your big guys get the breather. But Clarkson, I've definitely been a fan of for a while. Even LA, you saw the game that he had. Just, he's like a Lou Williams light because he can fill it up once
Yeah,
he gets hot and he makes things happen. But definitely shout out to Clarkson getting some shine, man. It's been a few years that he's been on an actual playoff team, if anything.
yeah, man. Here we're gonna go into the end of Game 5 here,
Got
but
Murray.
Denver really was blown out in Game 4.
Mm-hmm.
And they were down in this game, and they really showed some heart coming back. Jamal Murray going off here. I mean, he's making some difficult shots.
Mm-hmm.
Had the 360 layup.
Oh, that was nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh
Look at
man,
Murray.
Mitchell here.
He is quick, man.
Yeah, his crossover pullback.
Oh, yeah.
He stops on a dime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he definitely makes it look easy. And just watching this kid, and I love seeing New York guys show up, man. That honestly, it gives me a source of pride seeing dude because you got to hold all the California players, guys out west, down south. But when you see the New York guys like the Kimbas and the Mitchells and the Mellows, I mean, you see these guys come in and show up. You're just like, okay, New York still got some ballers, man. Don't forget about them.
Yeah, man. It's been real refreshing to see. I like the presence Mitchell has shown and his rapport with Gobert throughout the entire postseason, considering how we all got to this, is real nice. I mean, Gobert has really shown out. He's played as well as defense as you can play on the Joker. and probably should have been the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year.
It's definitely possible. But let's talk about Joker though.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that first half, he just went to work. And then he got a floating, like he had a running three, one-handed over him, and it just all net. Like, what the hell? That dude, he actually, I want to say, said something about him being third or fourth all time on triple doubles already.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm just like, what? I mean, you're talking about quiet assassin. That's him. I didn't even notice that until he said it. I'm like, really already? But you talk about a max guy, they got another one.
Yeah, but what's really disheartening about Denver is, like we said, there's really a Jekyll and Hyde team, and I guess being in the bubble, they lose that home court advantage they usually have in Denver.
Yep.
And Mike Malone has been having to get his team up, getting motivated, because to go down and lose by 30, 35 points with a team that talented is real frustrating. So he made some changes to the lineup, put Porter on the bench. Torrey Craig has been getting lit up.
Oh gosh, yeah, his defense is non-existent. It's so horrible. I can't even think. Only person that really played, I maybe give Jeremy Grant maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I don't know. No Gary
Now
Harris.
Gary Harris has been out, but I mean,
Yeah.
I guess now considering that we don't know when they'll come back, he may be another weapon that they can use. But
he's actually one of the best if not the best defensive player, and you need that, and it shows, man. It really shows. But this is one of the good series here because they can go 7.
Yeah, Conley came back and really surprised me with how well he's been shooting the ball, and I know there was questions earlier in the year on how he fit on that Jazz team, but with Mitchell really with the ball handling ability that he has, allowed Conley to spot up and shoot, and Utah has been just lighting it up. It's been a good series. Whenever they get back, it'll be exciting to watch.
7 games.
Who do you think takes it?
I am going to go out on a limb and say Denver wins the next 2. They're that talented, man. It's just it's a game plan. You get on Mitchell and you don't let him beat you. It's just kind of like the Luka. Like, don't let him beat you. Just bang him around. Yeah. Just don't let him beat you. Let everybody else do it. You're pretty much fine. But I think Denver can come back and win the series. So I'm going to go with Denver. Doesn't happen a lot, but I'm going to go with it.
One more question. We noticed a lot of these teams with high aspirations, coaches have been let go. You think if Denver loses this series, think Mike Malone is still there?
Fired, not hired. But because I'm sorry, if Brett Brown got let go and he was without Simmons, and they just said, "Listen, you had enough. Mike Malone got to go." I'm sorry. Just like George Karl had talent, he couldn't go anywhere. Same fate. You got to let him go. There's somebody else in there. There's no way. There's no way he should keep his job with that much talent. You're being out coached. No. Sorry.
That's the Malone. I think is the one guy that stays.
I can see it, but I would be surprised if he doesn't get asked. But he has a lot of supporters in that organization, so I can't see him saying. But no.
Yeah. But these coaches being let go has really been a bit surprising. I mean, I was right on Brown, but
Oh yeah, you were. 100%. 100%. Who else got canned?
Nate McMillan.
Yes. Didn't he just get it? Just like Felipe said, didn't he just get an extension?
Yeah, right before the playoffs.
Nick move. But yeah, they extended your ass. Extended the fucking door right out. There you go. I'm sorry.
They've been extended their foot right in there.
That was terrible. I mean, hey, it sucks to get fired, but you're getting paid. I'm like, screw it. He gonna see him on
You
TV.
know, but then I wonder, like, what were, when I was looking into that series of Pacers and the Heat, what
Mhm.
were they expecting without Sabonis?
Thank you. You uh, to win a game. But
Maybe, because we know Bubble TJ was long gone. Once Butler, when Jimmy got the clamps on him, that was it for him.
that was
Uh,
it.
you
That was.
know, Brogdon played well. Turner
Mhm.
played decently. Oladipo was all right, but they didn't have the firepower. And the Heat, like our good buddy Randy from the Audible,
Mhm.
Football Life Presents the Audible, said, the Heat are deep.
Mhm.
And every night it was someone different. Game one was Duncan Robinson.
Mhm.
Next night, Dragic, Tyler Hero, Bam. You go down the
Ah,
line, that Heat team was deep and they could shoot. And credit the Pacers, they gave them a fight in game 3 and 4, but
mm,
I just didn't think they had the firepower.
I agree. And Oladipo looked out. He was okay, but he wasn't Oladipo that we've
Mm-hmm.
seen. He was behind the ball. He was out of place, throwing up shots, trying to do these wild layups, and it just, yeah, it didn't look like him. They had no chance. And plus, how they shot, you know, Duncan. I mean, Robinson. All that he thought was jumpers, just lighting them up. Um, Tyler Hero, like you said, and Jimmy putting the clamps on Bubble TJ. Yeah, it was game over once TJ. TJ was pretty
He was
much not.
human. He was good,
Yeah,
but he was human.
yeah, he wasn't this 35 point game guy. It's just Jimmy was like, nope, I'm a superstar. You're not. That was it. He
Yeah,
proved it.
you know, and that was Jimmy Max contract Butler.
Mhm.
And you can go around and ask, well, is Jimmy a max player? With the right team, I guess he is.
Absolutely, I wanted him. I, um, I love somebody like that because he holds play. He might be known. I won't say a prima donna, but an a hole. But that's what leaders are. You look at Kobe. He was the biggest a hole, but you better believe he put his team on such a standard because he did it. That's how you have to follow. And Jimmy does it. But look at this young team.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy's just like, listen, this is what you need to do. He has these guys, along with obviously Spoelstra, but he leads the practices. He has them practicing hard, and if you're gonna follow somebody, why not Jimmy Butler? Because look at him. He's a great story. You know, Nobody expected him to be what he was coming out of school. He wasn't highly recruited. He worked his way to where he was. He's a great story for the NBA, and one of the best, if not the best, two-way player in the league besides Paul George. I mean, Jimmy's there.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at what happened to Philly after Jimmy left, they more or less fall flat in their face.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, uh, Jimmy is showing why his personality uh, works for a young team. We tried to do it in Minnesota,
Hmm.
tried to do it in Philly, tried to do it in Chicago. He's finally able to let out his personality, and the benefits is showing.
Hmm.
Uh, and as far as Nate McMillan goes, I thought he got dealt a rough hand. You know, he kind of got the short end of the stick. But now that he is a free agent coach, our good buddy Reverend Robert, how you
Hmm.
doing, bro? Um, he wants to know if Chicago should interview Nate.
Absolutely, absolutely. You've seen what he did. Like the Pacers are one of the youngest teams in the league, and he had them winning 40 something games a year. Why not? I mean, I don't want to see it. I want to see Chicago fail. But I'll keep it 100. But yeah. And much as I won't say I hate Chicago like I used to, but they have a lot of young talent. You know, my man Zach Markkinen, mark him up. Wendell Carter. I mean, who else did they have? Your boy from UNC, Kobe.
Kobe White, yeah.
I mean, what? They got talent, man. They have a legit five. If they get one guy in the draft, maybe like a Denny, and put him at the three, the Bulls could be a problem. And it's yeah, they got a lot of talent, but Nate McMillan would be perfect. You talking about just connect forward, click, 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 or Rubik's cube that you can be. That's Nate McMillan. I will go after him definitely. That's a good question, Robert.
Yeah, the Bulls are in a prime position with that fourth pick. They can make a move for a star trade. If they don't plan on extending Markkinen, we can get a big time star to match up with Zach, or they could trade Zach and pair up with Markkinen. They have a lot of options, but finding some stability in that front office, I think is key, and I think they're finally going to go back into the right direction.
I would trade for Markkinen. Come on, take Randall. I'll do that. Randall in the 27 for Markkinen. Take that. But Denver is two things. Of course, shout out to Matt, other co-host of the Audible. He said the Nuggets are good. I do agree. I mean, they're one of the, like I said, podcast before, one of the deepest teams in the league, and they got too much talent to be playing like they are now. And Akil, he said Denver needs one more player. I can see that if they had a star-like player on with, I'll say if you move Gary Harris and you put somebody there like a star player, I'll bring his name up again, Bradley Beal. You could put him there, but
I
you
just think
still
they need
need
to
to
play
get.
defense.
Yeah, that's it.
Denver
That's
plays
it.
no defense,
And that's their problem. In the West, you gotta make stops, and they don't. Donovan Mitchell was just going off, and they couldn't do anything about it. They just be damned, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And nobody on there. Jokic is slow. He's flat-footed. He's good, but on the defensive side, you can get right by him. You know, Michael Porter. You know, he doesn't use his length at all. He can't stay in front of anybody. Gary Harris is your best defender. Jamal Murray is okay. You know, he can get better, but he's not there. So you're pretty much like every other Denver Nuggets team that we've seen throughout the years that win 50 games a year. They're good, but they don't play defense. Besides maybe '94 when they had, Matumbo, Fonzo Ellis, and those kind of guys that actually dug into you playing defense. I don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Denver winning in 7 now with the possibly extended layoff, but it's gonna take some fight. It's gonna take some heart, which we haven't seen before Game 5. So, I mean, maybe they might come out and shock us.
So it's possible. We always love a good shocker in basketball. We've seen it over the years. Mavericks beating the Heat, like '94, so the Nuggets beating the Sonics. We want to see it again. It just ain't gonna be Portland and the Lakers.
Oh no! And you know what? I'm glad you bring that up because the Blazers were one of the hottest teams in the league coming in to the playoffs, and they gave the Lakers a run for their money in Game 1. The Lakers decided they wanted to come out and play, and Lillard has looked human. CJ has looked good, but Bron and AD look like they are on a mission, and they are not taking any prisoners.
Which they should have been from the get-go. So don't take no breaks. It's the playoffs, man. You don't take a light on anybody. You play to win. This is kill or be killed, man. You can't. But and with Dame, getting hurt, that might that might spell it in, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and with Game 2, I believe that the Blazers won, and the Lakers shot horribly. They shot horribly from 3. They shot horribly from the free throw line. It was like they took some plays off on defense, and LeBron and AD said, "That's no more." KCP finally went out. He knocked down a few threes. Danny Green
Mm-hmm.
You know, got tired of how many more memes of him.
Jesus Christ. Oh man.
And they found a way to get JR in the game, and he looked lost as usual. So
Yeah, man, that's another one. Just all the talent in the world, and just damn, need
but
Henny
yeah.
JL back.
What are you doing?
Just,
Yeah, man.
oh,
The Lakers right now are on another level. They showed it last night in 30-point beatdown. Little left the game. CJ and Melo kind of, did some vintage work, but it was all for naught. If the Lakers don't win, then I'll be surprised if they don't win the next game.
yeah, they got that. The series is over. Good showing by Portland. Thank you for coming.
Mm-hmm.
Go home, enjoy your
Yeah,
family. Get ready for next year.
yeah. I mean, Portland was a good story. If anybody had them winning this series, they were crazy. Their defense was atrocious the entire year. They really don't stop anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Lillard was a equivalent to AI, but AI had worse help.
Mm-hmm.
You just had Mutombo for defense.
Mm-hmm. That's for
So
sure. Robert said the ghost of Bill Walton couldn't help the places. That's true because he probably would have been hurt too. But now Bill Walton was great though. I just can't stand his whole Conference of Champions nonsense that I gotta hear every time a UCLA game comes on. But yeah, that's it, Robert. I agree with you. It's over. Turn out the lights, light a candle. But yeah, it's over. You know,
come
man.
off. Yeah, time's up, brother. Speaking of time's up, Philly's time is up. Brett Brown's time is up.
Yeah.
Almost shocked Elton Brand's time isn't up.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. They trust the process, busted the process. Process is gone. You need to figure out another process, another equation, because whatever process you're using ain't working. Boston said, thank you for coming. We appreciate it. Thank you for filling out your application, but it's time for you to go home. We're going somewhere else. But yeah, shout out to Boston. No, they took care of work. Playoff Kemba, see him in the playoffs. It was nice to see my guy Tatum, Jalen Brown, even Daniel Tice got into the action. I think I saw Wanamaker hit a few shots, and once that happens, you're pretty much done. And this Boston team, that's my pick to come out of the East. And I don't know, they play like that, and they got a big chance to do so. They got the talent.
Yeah, Boston's well coached. They have the talent. I thought Philly was out-coached, outmatched, poor roster construction. Embiid did all he could, but if Philly's going to run out to a 15-point lead and then lose by 20, they have no chance.
Nah.
I still don't understand why Al Horford was on the team.
Yeah, that was a ploy to get him away from Boston, I think, because they were heavy on signing him back too. But yeah, and that's what you get. I mean, it turned into all this is no chance. That's what you got.
Oh my God, it was so bad. I mean, and Josh Richardson played decently, but they shut down Shake Milton. Tobias Harris was all right, but I still haven't seen the fall. I don't want to see the fall.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
And I like Tobias Harris as a player. Matter of fact, I've gone on record as saying that Brooklyn should have went after him, before we knew what was going to happen with KD and whatnot. But I like Tobias as a player, but
Mellow light.
He needed help. Al Horford is not that lineup is not going to work. And you look at the difference of the roster between years. Philly last year was the perfect roster. With Jimmy Butler, JJ Redick, Boban. You look at Boban now.
Oh yeah.
And realized that's who Philly needed.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't Al Horford of the Atlanta Hawks. It's just two thumbs down, two bad knees, standstill shooter Al Horford, and you got him for 4 more years.
For
No,
100,
3 more years. But either
3
way,
more
it's
years.
too damn long.
Mm-hmm. Philly, you done fucked up.
Yeah. And Elton Brand going on record as saying, well, Simmons and Embiid, they're going to try to get them more help. I don't think getting them more help is going to, from anything on this roster, I think one of them is going to end up being traded. Now,
Yeah.
there was talk of Ben Simmons going to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
You could package him for the number, Cleveland has the 3 pick, right? No.
4.
No,
No, 3.
Chicago's 4.
No. Well, they have 5? Who has the 5th? They got 3 or 5. It's one of them. 3 or 5.
Yeah. There was talk of Ben Simmons going there, and what I also think could happen, Joel Embiid, which would be a real bad look for the league. I mean, not a look, but real bad luck for the league.
I
Is
know
if he
you're
goes to
going for
Golden
this one.
State.
Good Lord, man. They are in a perfect position to do that, too. That's all they really got to give up. Him and maybe a Wiggins. You probably would have to try to make that work. But
Mm-hmm.
if they do that, you got your big man, then everybody else coming back. Yeah, the league will be. I think the league's still going to be in trouble when Golden State comes back. That's just me. People forget, Golden State, they won without KD. Yes, they're a little bit older, but Steph is still Steph, Clay is still Clay, Draymond can still, lock it down. But just don't sleep on them. I do agree with that. Would be something. I don't want to see that at all.
No. But Wiggins and the number 2 pick to Philly, they get their wing player. Horford probably goes back in the starting lineup, and
Mm-hmm.
Philly is, what they do with top picks. They sit out for a year.
That's for sure. We've seen it.
Yeah, man. And speaking of former top Philly picks, Markelle Fultz and the Orlando Magic,
Told you.
surprised everyone game 1. Milwaukee came back. They went to town, showed who they are. Vucevic has had a nice series. I'm a big fan of Vuce.
Mm-hmm.
Inside-outside game, solid 30 and 15, but he has no help.
Nah,
They can't shoot.
No. Even with Markel improving his shot, you still can't shoot. Then Aaron Gordon, and then you have a bunch of just who's gonna do anything. Is DJ Augustine on that team?
Yeah, he went off for game 4 for a bit, but you're asking Augustine to score over 20 points a game for more than 2 or 3 games. It's
Nah.
a tall ask. Not to mention you're trying to stop Giannis from going down the lane, and he Euro steps into a dunk almost every time down.
Every time. I mean, not even 2 steps, and he's there. We're not talking about, like you said, Augustine. You're not talking Augustine from Charlotte, maybe. He can get into you. But now, when I called it, if they won this game, they weren't going to win another one. It was that shock factor. Oh, wait. Maybe we can't take them lightly. And Milwaukee was like, okay, stomped them out. You got Vincenzo, Corver there, just too strong. Even Brook, I love to see Brook always expanded his game. Took him a couple of years, but he did it. And Giannis, when he won the Defensive Player of the Year, called that one. But yeah, just the guy is just really special, and he's not gonna let his team lose, especially not now, especially to the Magic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they won a game. Orlando was hot from behind the arc. Chris Middleton has been awful up until game 5.
Mm-hmm.
But up until game 4. But Milwaukee, best team in the league. They led the charge by sitting out today. So I mean, I can't get on them.
Mm-hmm.
This is more or less what's expected from Milwaukee. So more power to them, and go up to them on the rest of the way. Maybe we'll see them again later on down the road. But credit to them for starting the trend for today and sitting out.
Absolutely.
Here's one that's going to be up and over just as quick as the series was. The Nets and the Raptors. I know we had our good friend Erin from Toronto on. She was gracious. I foolishly said Nets in 6. I knew better. But, they put out an effort. LeVert and Allen looked good. I'm not sure if Jock Vaughn might keep that job. There was a lot of talk of Popovich coming in. With the star power of KD and Kyrie. You think Pop takes that job?
No, I think he stays with San Antonio. I think he's that lifer, man. He's just done so much in San Antonio. Why go somewhere else? I mean, now y'all end up with Tyler Lue. But back to Popovich, one of the greatest coaches. Funny guy. I love watching his press conferences and his halftime show. Like just before the half, it's so nonchalant. He'll come in. What went wrong with the first half? We couldn't shoot. What do you think you need to do better? Shoot better. What do you think else needs to be done? Just play better. I just love it because he's just so so sarcastic and his man. I would love to have him as a coach, but I think he stays with San Antonio because they kind of showed out in the bubble, man, with White and D-Row, playing for a contract, but they had some Murray. They had a few young guys there, and Aldridge is still playing at a good level. I won't say high Portland level, but he's still there. And I think just like kind of like Jerry Sloan, you can't see him going anywhere else. RP to him. You can't see him going anywhere else but the Jazz. I think Popovich stays that route and then rises to the sunset as the Spurs coach. Enjoy Ty Lue.
Don't get me started. But I'm glad of the fight Brooklyn put in. It was Game 2 was the heartbreaking one. They couldn't get a shot off at the end. It went down 2-0, and I knew that was pretty much it for them. But Toronto was a really good team. Put up 150 in Game 4. 100 points off the bench. I didn't even know that was possible. But, I mean, I knew this Toronto team was good. I didn't think they were, like, that damn good. But
yeah, you talk about well-coached. Nick Nurse is that guy. Coach of the year. Call that one.
Him.
Yeah, congrats to Nick Nurse. He deserves it. Everybody says, even though without Kawhi they had a loaded squad, but Kawhi is Kawhi, man. That guy, he's a superstar. When you lose a superstar, you still don't expect the team to do the same. And Siakam has taken it from stardom to a star in the league. VanVleet, he is actually about to get paid. He turned himself to a max player. You got guys like OG Anunoby. That's another one I think is going to really go with ample playing time. Ibaka does what he does. Great leader on the court, defensive. When he learned how to shoot, hey, man, he just extended his freaking career about another 4 or 5 years just learning how to shoot. And Marc Gasol, ageless wonder, man. He's one of my favorite players in the league. He's tough, big body down low. He can still get you, 12, 13 points a game, 6 rebounds, few blocks, valuable point of any team. And they're still young, man. So the Raptors is going to be around for a while. Shout out to them, man.
Yeah, man. Congrats to Toronto the rest of the way. Hopefully I'll never have to change my profile pic, but, we'll see what happens there. You mentioned Kawhi. We're going to start with the Clippers.
Let's do it.
Clips-Mavs series, probably the most intriguing series of them all. It could very well be 3-1 Mavs. You can get into, you think the refs are in on it? Are the Clippers dirty? What's KP status? But, Paul George came out Game 4, Violent Life playoff P instead of pandemic P. But Luka going off was the highlight of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna get into these overtime here.
Yeah, this was good.
Yeah, I thought the last shot by Kawhi was a bit. I thought it was bad at the end of regulation. I
Mm-hmm.
thought he forced it. I mean, it's a shot he would normally take, but I thought he could have got a better one. But you can
Absolutely.
see him going off here mid range. And in this game, KP went out with knee injury. So it's a lot of guys stepped up in this one. Trey Burke, Seth
Yeah,
Curry went off for a bit.
it was
Your
a
man
former
Tim
Nick
Hardaway.
show. My twin, my guy. That's right, Timmy. Do what it
Yeah,
do.
man. I mean, it must suck to watch these former Knicks just excel on another team.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it coming. Like Tim Hardaway always said, he's not the defensive wizard, but he can get you buckets when he has to, and he chucks a little bit too much, but he is what he is. But look at that, Trey AI Burke, getting the
Yeah, man.
roll.
Trey was hustling on in overtime here. You see Kawhi just going off, and Lou Williams walking bucket 36 in that game
Wings.
and one.
Mm-hmm. Going to the hole like a stripper's booty. But yeah, it's definitely I always love Lou Williams, man. It's crazy that he's been around for so long. But look at this, and Dallas just
With
has some
the
great ball movement, man. And Luka's so strong going to the hole. You would not expect it, but
mhm.
dude he's not afraid of anybody.
Yeah, and it's been shown at this series as we stated earlier with with Montrezl Harrell and Luka dusting it up a bit, but Clippers been trying to bully the Mavs out of the series, and the Mavs won't back down.
Mm-hmm. Well, look at this. Look at this barbecue chicken. Like, why, we discussed it before the show. Why? What defensive presence does Reggie Jackson have?
Um, you know what? When I find an answer, I guess I'll let the group know because I still haven't found it yet.
I mean, I'm still looking.
Yeah, Kawhi on here, and he was hot. He goes over in the corner, Marcus Morris, who's
Mm-hmm.
longtime
That's
vet.
it.
Open in the corner, trusted his teammate because if that was Paul George, I mean, he would have passed it, but he damn sure would have missed.
Absolutely. Look at it. Look when he pointed at his shoe. Taunting. Should have gave him a tech. No, I'm joking. But this shot right here, man. Like I said, Kawhi should have been on him or Pope PG, but look at this. Boom. Step back. Bang. That's a bad shot. Go ahead, Luka. He is a bad man.
It was so good that Mike Breen gave it 2 bangs.
Yes. And
Bang, bang.
Yes.
He shot him down. I mean, so you mentioned Kawhi or PG on him. We look at it here. Kawhi did start out on him. It was a good pick set at the top of the key. That's how Reggie ended up on him, and Reggie turned into barbecue chicken like he did all game.
Yeah. Finger licking good, man. It's game over. But that was great, man. Luka, it's a bad man.
Yeah, man.
His injury, though, is gone. That might do him in. Because he was laboring in game 4. He was laboring badly. And the KP, James, I wanted to get to that. I didn't forget about you, bro. He said his right knee is going as predicted, and he did. We talked about that. But it's the other knee. But KP, man, you got to suck it up. It's the playoff time. You being Charmin right now, man. You just, man, suck it up. It ain't like you go to the hole anymore. You stand there and shoot. Get some picks or not picks or something, but have them set picks for you. Just get open and try to shoot, man. But I don't know. Maybe it's really bothering him. I don't know, man. But Luka can't do it alone.
No, and Luka can't do it alone. And thank you, James. You mentioned Tim Hardaway Jr. He's not a number 1 option.
Damn
He's
sure
a good number,
ain't a
good number 3.
Yes.
An okay second.
Mm-hmm.
He's an excellent spot up shooter. He shoots in volume, so you have to respect his range. For the Knicks, he just wasn't that number 1 guy, and he was just out of his element here. Maxi Kleber, my man is like 1 for like forever in this series from 3.
Who?
Yeah,
Maxi pad. Shall you mean just?
I mean, he has to be better.
hmm Trey Burke is doing all he can, but you can't expect that much out of him. And like James said, he's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get, and that's how he was with the Knicks. One night he dropped 42, next night 6. So, and it's Dallas needs another. They need another guy, and
Yeah,
it's showing. It's showing big time. But they got a bright future, man, with KP and Luca. If they stay healthy, bright future.
yeah, I totally agree. You know, man, Luca really struggled last night with the refs and the Clippers again trying to bully him. I don't know if Marcus Morris tried to step on his foot.
Yeah, that was. I think he did. To be honest, yeah, chill. Don't. If you're getting your ass bust, you're getting your ass bust. Don't try to injure a dude. You're already winning by a lot. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a big fan of the rest of this. Ain't the Lakers and freaking Kings of '02. They just got whipped. All right, and there was nothing the rest could do. I don't. It didn't really kill the outcome of the game. It didn't determine the outcome of the game. They just got whipped. They played no defense. PG was hot. And I'm glad PG is coming. He's still one of, like I said, like getting the show. He's still one of the best two-way players in the league, and you know what he can do. But he's a
Mm-hmm.
star player, and he got to step up for Kawhi. So you play bad, you're gonna hear it. So he knows how that goes. Being a star player, I still think he should have been better off with the Pacers, being on his own team and not being a second wheel. But that's for another day. But the Clippers, they showing why they're pretty deep too, and they're pretty good. And they're gonna take them out soon.
Yeah, man. I I had the Clippers in 6. I think
Mhm.
it still may end up that way.
Mhm.
We'll see with this extended time off. It may help KP now. So we'll see what happens with that.
Mhm.
And I think the Rockets and the Thunder.
Intriguing series.
This this series is so weird to me because the Thunder looked so out of it in the first 2 games that I thought the Rockets would just sweep them out of the building.
Mhm.
Credit to Billy Donovan. He changed up his offensive scheme.
Mhm.
Chris Paul stepped up his game, and you know how much I hate giving Chris Paul credit, but
Man, you should. You shouldn't. You
he's
shouldn't.
playing mental games with these guys.
Mhm.
He's hitting big shots, and he's exposing the one hole that the Rockets have is the mid-range game,
Mid-range god.
and he's elevating the play of guys like SGA and Shooter.
Mhm.
What's your thoughts on the series?
Remember, we go back to it. Man, I'll say I've been killing it a little bit, but pat myself on the back a little bit. But I said with Westbrook being out, they can make this a series, and they're making it a series, and they're just showing you what they did all year. Man, I thought they were maybe an eighth, and then fringe playoff team. What were they, fifth? I mean, Chris Paul is showing you why he's one of the best point guards and leaders of all time. We might not like his antics. Personally, he's one of my favorite point guards. Like, he's like top 3 for me because his
Mm-hmm.
game and his heart and just how he plays and how he's able to lead is it's just showing it right now. Who would have, like you said, who would have thought 2-2? Now it could go either way. Will the Rockets, recover, or will OKC? It's another team. Will they shock them? And they have a good chance to do it. Man, just it's great watching them.
I cannot stand the Rockets' execution down the stretch.
Hmm
Um, Blew a 15-point lead, and it looks like the same story is coming back to haunt them as far as the 3-point line. They were
hmm
hot in the beginning of the second, went ice cold, and then cannot execute an inbound pass. Here, we're going to go over to game 3. A man, Lou Dort, has been playing excellent defense
hmm
on Harden.
Oh yeah.
And Jeff Green has been really showing me something this series, like
hmm
he found a fountain of youth. But here he's just uh, had the 3, at the dunk, and then the three, we
That
stepped
pass.
out of bounds.
Look at that pass by CP to Steven Adams. Steven Adams is another one, just toughness that you love to watch play, not scared of anything. Just a wonderful person to watch. Oh, look at
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I don't understand how they could not get the inbound in twice.
Yeah, look at this. What are you doing? You falling on the floor. I'm like, come on now.
The poor execution with the inbound,
Hmm.
and then CP3 going to work.
Look at that. Look at that. Boom.
Confidence
Bang.
shot.
It's important for him. Very important.
And then here, Daniel House gets tripped up, has a chance to ice it at the line, 80% free throw shooter, misses. No, makes the first, misses the second one to put them ahead.
Like you can see it. Like some players just pressure burst pipes, man, and you just kind of take your time. They rush and then, dude. But yeah, look, here we go. Here we go. Look at
This
it.
is a pretty good look for Paul. He just goes in and out hard and,
Mm-hmm.
play as well as you can play with defense on there, but
Mm-hmm.
they just totally disappeared in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Paul took over.
Yes, he did. Look at this.
Yeah.
There it is. He's a
Man,
smooth jumper, man. Smooth jumper.
knocking down threes. I mean, he never takes this many threes.
Nope. Well, he can hit them. That's the thing about it.
Mhm.
He just doesn't do it. He always look for others, but if he's healthy, he's gonna be one of the most, if not the most productive player on the floor. That's what I always loved about him. James Harden,
Yeah,
another one.
yeah, and credit to Paul, he put the pressure on himself
Mm-hmm.
at the end of game 2, saying that he needed to be better, and so far that's what he's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they just to come back after being down 0-2, really
Testament
something
of the team.
special. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
Testament of the
testament to
team and
Billy
coaching.
Donovan. Yeah.
Oh yeah, great coach. Great. Not a lot of coaches go from college to NBA and be successful. Those Brad Stevens and Billy Donovan, props to them because they are doing it.
Another coaching question.
Mm-hmm.
Mike D'Antoni, last year his contract. Rockets pick up and loss in this series. You think he comes back?
No, no. It's time. I mean, how long he's been in now? How many years? Half a decade, maybe.
Yeah.
He's been there for a while. So yeah, if they don't do it, they gotta go. It's another one. It's gonna be a coaching carousel because how many years you're gonna go doing the same thing, the same offensive scheme? It's not working. It's not getting you out of the first round of the playoffs. If it does, you're not getting out the semifinals. If you get there, he's another one that just you gotta go. You gotta change it up.
Yeah, but like this roster was built for D'Antoni,
Mm.
and to have them let him go, I don't. They have to do a major shakeup with the roster, and I don't see that with the contracts they have.
Yeah, I can't. But they're talented too. Like you don't have to. Yeah, it's made for D'Antoni, but your goal is to win a championship. And D'Antoni, I just don't. In this day and age, his offense will work. It'll only work so much. It's just live by the three, die by the three. That's kind of what Mike Krzyzewski's going, and he started doing now. He
Mm-hmm.
went inside out. I know comparing it to the college game, but yeah, he goes in and out in and out. He used to do it, but now it's just live by the three, die by the three now. And a lot of their games are lost like that. And in the playoffs, man, you can't bank on your three. You got to have an in and out game. You got to mix it up. And that 5-out system, yeah, it's good. But once you get, what are they going to do against the Clippers when they play them? I ain't going to work. You shoot yourselves out of the game. Like OKC, you can kind of get away with shooting yourselves out of a game because they're not, that good. Well, they're good offensively, but they're not as good as you, even though you got beat
Mm-hmm.
by them. But LA, you start missing your shots, you're down by 20, and it ain't no
Yeah.
way you coming back. So I don't know. No knocking is D'Antoni, great coach, but it's time for a change. After a while, you just only so much slack you can give a coach.
You know, and a lot's been made about the Rockets and D'Antoni and their lack of defense. I think this has been the best year they've played defense. You know, Harden's been much more engaged defensively. They move their feet well. It's just the lack of rebounding that
Mm-hmm.
kills them most of the time.
That Capella deal.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But I think their defense has been much better than in recent years. I
I
mean,
agree.
it's probably going to feed into the D'Antoni critic of
Mm-hmm.
not having a big man, and that probably will lead to his downfall.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's it.
yeah, I still see the Rockets winning this. But you know, it cracked me up watching Paul and Harden interact with each other, knowing, you know, Harden's the reason you're in OKC, and then you see the meme with
Mm-hmm.
Paul talking to the ref, like, and if you could read lips, like, I don't fuck with him.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
So
that's you damn sure do. Chris Paul doesn't. If he doesn't like you, he doesn't like you, man. And like James said, you can't win with a 6'6" center. Even the Warriors, when they had Bogut, that was a big part of their team. And you had that toughness down there. PJ Tucker is tough, but he's no 7-footer or maybe 6'10", 7-footer to get you over the hump. You know.
yeah, I think that's why we've seen a lot more of Jeff Green and Robert Covington, and Jeff Green has played well,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, you're asking a lot to try to have him go in there and bang with Steven Adams.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Steven Adams, certain players are born for that.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Adams is born for that. He's born for it. He wants that smoke. Play no games.
And uh, so as we look at all the series, one upcoming series we're gonna have is the Toronto Raptors, Boston Celtics.
This is gonna be. It should be good.
Yeah. I think they were scheduled for game one tomorrow, but
Mm-hmm.
with everything that's going on, they decided to postpone it. We don't know how long. We might find out later on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll do it anyway. What's your thoughts on the Raptors and the Celtics?
I'm gonna go Celtics in 6. 'Cause Toronto's good, but Kemba. I mean, he's gonna have something to play for. This is his first time, I think, in the semifinals
Mm-hmm.
ever. So and he's been hitting big shots his whole life. That's what he does. He's gonna come out hard. Tatum's coming off a nice little streak. Brown is gonna be there. Is Hayward? Do they get Hayward back?
Uh
Or will he be back
maybe
in?
maybe by that time, but he wasn't scheduled to play tomorrow.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't.
Not for
Okay.
like 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay, so even if you don't get him, it'll still be solid. Toronto's gonna have to dig in on defense, man, because that Boston is a talented team offensively and defensively, and it's gonna be a test. But if anybody can do it, it's the Raptors. You can't listen. Who would have thought they would have beat the Warriors? So I'm not gonna put it. I know they had Kawhi, but still, you can't underestimate the heart of a champion. But I still think Boston in 6.
All right. I like Toronto. I mean, not because they kicked the Nets' ass, but Toronto was deep,
Uh-huh.
well coached. This is going to be a well coached matchup.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But you know, you look at guys like Norman Powell and Anunoby, like you say.
Mm-hmm.
I think that will be the difference in the series is the bench play.
The bench. Mm-hmm.
Boston really doesn't have that deep of a bench.
No.
Although Boston is very good at changing up their defensive schemes,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be asking a lot of Tatum and Brown and Kemba to really lead the charge with a good backcourt defensively of Lowry and Van Vliet. So
Mm-hmm.
Siakam and Ibaka are really going to go to town on that Boston front court, and
Mm-hmm.
I have Toronto in 6.
Okay. I like it. It's gonna be a good series either way, man. It's
Absolutely.
Can't wait.
Absolutely.
Bart
Yeah,
Scott
yeah.
voice. Can't wait.
Yeah, man, I definitely can't wait. But if we're waiting for this reason, I can wait as long as I need to.
Mm-hmm.
Say it's will be a decision on that later tonight. The women have also followed suit. They decided to postpone their games tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't be right if we didn't touch on Kobe Day on Sunday. I'm sorry. It was Sunday. No, Monday.
Monday here.
This past Monday. His birthday was this past Sunday. It would have been 42. We looked at his impact throughout the league. The young players in the league, Tatum, Devin Booker, if you can ever find him now.
Kyrie.
Kyrie, his impact on the women's game. So, and speaking of that, Diana Taurasi had a pretty nice night wearing Kobe's jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Dropped 34, 7 threes. It was sick.
That was nice, man. That's the GOAT, and she's one of a kind. She's leader for her team. Still drop buckets. I mean, if she decides to, she'll be playing for a while, man. She'll keep it going. But what a way to honor Kobe. Drop buckets. That's what he did. He led the team and dropped buckets. Might watch that 81 game.
I might watch it. I think I'll get into that.
I don't know. I watched it. I'm watching it live. Not live, but on TV, obviously.
I think I was watching the the box score,
Mm-hmm.
and it just kept showing Kobe scored, Kobe scored, Kobe scored. I'm like 70 by the third quarter. I'm like, oh, okay,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think we'll ever see 81 again.
Yeah.
You think somebody's gonna score that high?
Well, Booker almost did it, right?
I think he had 70.
Yeah, he had 70, and he took him out after a while. It's possible, but it's gonna be hard, man, because you don't see that kind of zone anymore. And plus, it goes to the game goes through so many players, and Kobe, you're talking about a takeover. You let Jalen Rose ass up. Good grief. But yeah, just watching that game, you just every move he had in his arsenal, he used. And man, you talk about one of a kind. Kobe is that's one of the dudes from our childhood, pretty much. And just see him come into a league, all you knew about him was he dated Brandy. That was it. He made the scene on the dunk contest. Yeah, then first game was against the Knicks and MSG. I didn't know who the hell he was. It scored his first points at the line there and saw him drop 61 at the Garden. It was it's crazy. And then now you look at it now, dude's going at 42. It's with his daughter. You don't just things that you just don't see coming, man.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. There's no explanation for it. It's not many explanations for any of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna take a look back at my player of the week, Diana Taurasi, just for throwing up 34
Mm-hmm.
In the Kobe jersey, and see why she was the logo. Just
Mm-hmm.
Pick a spot, any spot, she's gonna knock it down. And Mercury ended up winning this game by 1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talk about Mamba mentality. This was it right here.
Mm-hmm. It's coming down the court. Everybody just moved the hell out the way.
Nah, she's not passing that ball. She ain't passing it.
Nah, she's like, oh, I'm good. That's it. Look, boom, pull up. Boom. See ya. Cash Money Records. Yeah, look at that. It's passed. Look at that ball movement. Back to her. The net again.
Yeah, man. She knocked down 7 threes, 7 of 13. It was wild, man.
Efficient.
But yeah, the ladies, they decided to take a break along with the men. They're midway through their season, so whenever, I guess, I don't know what exactly their end game as far as getting back on the court would be, but I don't know. I hope major changes made by then.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I know we said it before. Black Lives Matter. You have that on your shirt.
Absolutely.
It's not a saying. It's a way of life. That's what the message is, and apparently, I guess the message hasn't been received. So you're gonna try drastic measures in order to do it. Whatever happens, happens.
That's it. And it's just, we'll go back to it. Keep saying it. Keep saying it. Keep saying it. Maybe people will get it one day, but not gonna take the shit anymore. That's just how it's gonna go. I mean, you you say it's always equality, and when we stand up, you want us to sit down. That's the thing about it. It's not gonna work like that. And I love that everybody's coming out and speaking about it and keep speaking about it. I don't care if you think all lives matter. That's not what it's about. You know, until you walk in a black man's shoes, you will never, and it's not a slight to anybody, you will never understand what it's like, to have, we're raised a certain way, there's certain ways we have to present ourselves and, pretty much watch our backs about everything, because it takes one slip up and, oh, yeah, he's just another, another black guy that, you know, they put us, we've always been put like you see on TV, what do they show? Anything happen? Oh, growing up in Queens, blah, 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 shot in Queens, blah, blah, black guy, black male. You get tired of that stuff, because that's not us as a people. You're doing your thing as a father. I'm doing my thing as a father. I think we're pretty much successful with our lives, and we're not done yet. And it's just, we get this narrative always thrown on us, and I'm just gonna get really candid about it, but it's fucking annoying. Not all of us are bad people. We can be good fathers. We can do anything we want. Where it's not just about dribbling the basketball. Yeah, that's not what all we're good for. I mean, we are jealous that we're athletic. Sorry. I mean, it just happens. I mean, get over it. But a lot of us smart. We can be doctors. Anything throughout history. You know, we built this shit. Let's be honest. We built this shit, and you're gonna start knowing. And you're just gonna start respecting it. It's fuck all lives matter. Blah blah blah. High behind blue line. No, fuck it. No, this is about us. We're the ones being attacked. Black, brown, Latinos. I mean, they're with us. I mean, we get attacked every time. You speak another language, people fucking look at you like you're fucking crazy. No, man, I'm about to learn another language to piss people off. Shit. I'm about to get fluent in Spanish just to really get in people's ass, say some wild shit. But it's just that's gonna be my new little standing, my new little saying. You want us to sit down, we gonna keep standing up, and that's it. Like, you can't shoot all of us. I'm just saying.
Yeah, man.
Shut us all up.
You definitely hit the nail on the head there. And we've been saying it as long as we've had our show. Black Lives Matter. You're gonna keep hearing it. Now that you're seeing that the games are gonna be postponed, canceled, or whatnot. I mean, you might as well get used to it. You have to go through drastic measures in order to get your message across, and so be it. People will get upset. That's the point.
It's been like that forever. Times change, but times do repeat themselves, and it's a little more, it's a little advanced, but down the line when it comes to us, but same shit still happening. It's just in a systematic way.
Yeah, and just like these players are using their platform to address change, this is why they do it, because they have the voice that we don't. I mean, we're just a small podcast. How many people can we reach? Honestly.
Exactly.
This is why the players play. This is why they have that platform, and they're getting the voice out for the voiceless. So salute to them. Salute to Milwaukee Bucks. Salute to WNBA. You know, we stand with you.
Absolutely. Now, then, now, forever. That's how it goes.
Facts.
Take that one. It's definitely, like I said, people are just gonna learn. That's it.
Yeah, man. And whenever we get basketball back, we'll be right back here to talk about it again. Until then,
Hmm.
we'll be here to promote change.
Absolutely. That's what it's about.
And it's been an interesting week, brother.
As usual.
You know, had a good show last night. Football Life presents Audible. Randy and Matt got a good show tomorrow. Wrestling Life for Pod Jobbers. Jake and Brett and those guys, they do a wonderful job over there.
Hmm.
You can catch this later on Anchor, YouTube. Subscribe to the Life podcast, and
Do
do it, man. You got any parting words for our audience, man?
Yeah, just keep promoting change. No matter if it might hurt your friends' feelings, hey, it doesn't matter. We're gonna be here. Love doing the show. We're gonna try to use this platform to get our feelings out. This is what it's all about. This is for the love of it. It's not about getting famous, blah blah blah, none of that. But back to it, like Leon said, watch all our other podcasts. Audible's great. Wrestling Life is back. Shout out to my guy Charles Martinez, CL Kid. He's the one actually bought this shirt from him. He's aspiring artist. He's doing his thing, and that's the one thing I always will support. Friends, you come out with the damn hurricane shoe, no matter what it is, I'll support it. But now he's doing a great job. The lab, catch that. Dong City, in baseball life. Henry, we appreciate you. You gave us this platform. You and Vince gave us the okay to do it. We appreciate y'all, and keep doing your thing over there. And check out all our other groups. That's what it is. Be there, be square.
Oh my God, that was bad. I mean,
That was
I don't
fire.
know about. I don't know about famous. If I can get some free tickets out of this, it would be nice. But
X.
just
Gun smoke.
yeah. But thanks again. The group is what makes this special. Like to thank you guys again for tuning in. You can catch us again next week, next Wednesday, same time, same place. And until then, blow out.
Say it loud.